If a woman treats you like a backup plan, understand one thing. She already believes you will accept less than you deserve. She talks to you when the man she really wants is unavailable. She disappears when something better gets her attention, then comes back expecting you to still be there. And every time you welcome her back without consequences, you teach her that disrespect costs her nothing. In this video, I'll show you 5 ways to handle women who treat you like a backup plan. These 5 moves will expose where you really stand, protect your self-respect, and stop you from wasting your time on a woman who only values you when it benefits her. If she treats you like an option, you will learn exactly how to respond. Comment: I know my worth. Number 1. Never accept second place. The moment you realize she treats you like a backup plan, your first job is not to convince her to choose you, compete harder for her attention, or prove that you are better than whoever else has her interest. Your job is to accept what her behavior is showing you and respond with self-respect. You know the situation. She is warm when she is lonely, interested when her other options disappear, and suddenly busy when something she considers more exciting comes along. She leaves your message sitting there, then appears days later acting like nothing happened. She cancels plans without offering another day. She gives you just enough attention to keep you invested, but never enough consistency to build something real. And because you care about her, you start giving her excuses she never earned. You tell yourself she's busy, confused, scared, or going through something, while deep down you're asking a harder question. Why does she always find time when she needs something from me? That question matters because actions reveal priorities. A woman who values your place in her life does not repeatedly put you on a shelf and expect you to stay there until she wants attention again. Do not become bitter, angry, or obsessed with teaching her a lesson. Control what belongs to you: your attention, your standards, your time, your choices, and your response. You cannot control whether she respects you, but you control whether she keeps receiving access to you while disrespecting you. That is where your power begins. When she cancels again, you do not beg for another date. You continue with your plans. When she disappears and returns with a casual message, you do not reward inconsistency with instant emotional access. When she gives you half effort, you do not answer by giving double effort. You watch what she does, accept the information, and adjust your investment accordingly. This will be uncomfortable, because part of you wants the version of her you saw at the beginning, when the conversations were easy, the attention was strong, and you believed something meaningful was growing. But you cannot build your future around somebody's potential, while her present behavior keeps showing you where you stand. There is a hard truth here. Being available for disrespect does not make you loyal. It makes disrespect convenient. Your standard has to mean something when attraction is involved, because standards that disappear around a beautiful woman are not standards. Ask yourself what you're really protecting when you tolerate being second place. Are you protecting a relationship, or are you protecting your hope that one day she will become the woman you wanted her to be? That distinction can change your life. You do not need revenge. You do not need a dramatic speech. You do not need to prove that she lost a great man. Build a life that does not depend on her understanding your value. Put your energy into your body, your money, your purpose, your friendships, your discipline, and the goals you neglected while staring at your phone, wondering when she would finally treat you differently. The strongest shift happens when your question changes from, "How do I get her to choose me?" to, "Why am I choosing someone who repeatedly treats me as optional?" That question puts responsibility back where it belongs. You cannot force her to value you, but you can refuse to negotiate against yourself. If she wants a real place in your life, consistency becomes the price of entry. If she refuses to pay that price, you lose an illusion and gain your time back, and your time is worth far more than temporary attention from a woman who only remembers your value when she needs you. And if you are done accepting second place, and you want the exact step-by-step system for building stronger boundaries, emotional control, self-respect, confidence and relationships from a foundation of more than 2,000 years of wisdom that has stood the test of time. The Stoic Relationship Blueprint Course for Men is now available for a limited time at more than 30% off. The Stoic Tribe team and I have worked day and night to make this our most complete course for men, giving you lifetime access to transformational knowledge designed to save you years of painful mistakes and show you exactly what to do, step by step, to take control of your decisions, raise your standards, and completely transform the way you handle women, relationships, and your own life. This offer ends very soon, so do not let another year pass repeating lessons you can learn now. Check the link in the comments while the discount is still available. Invest once and keep this knowledge for life. And if you're ready to become the man who knows exactly what to do, instead of constantly questioning himself, comment Blueprint Course. Number 2. Match her investment. If she gives you 10% and you keep giving her 100, do not be surprised when the relationship starts to revolve around her convenience. Your attention becomes cheap because she receives unlimited amounts of it without giving the same energy back. She sends one dry message and you carry the entire conversation. She says she's busy and you rearrange your week. She disappears for 3 days and you answer in 3 minutes when she returns. She avoids giving you clarity, yet you keep offering loyalty, emotional support, compliments, favors, and constant availability, as if greater effort will eventually unlock the version of her you want. That is where you have to become disciplined. Matching her investment does not mean playing childish timing games or counting minutes before replying. It means refusing to build a connection alone. If she communicates clearly, you communicate clearly. If she makes plans and follows through, you meet that effort. If she invests time, honesty, respect, and consistency, you have something real to respond to. But when her effort drops, yours doesn't rise to compensate. You allow the space to reveal the truth. This is difficult because silence creates questions in your head. You wonder whether another message will fix things, whether you should explain yourself better, whether she misunderstands your intentions, or whether one more romantic gesture will finally make her see what is standing in front of her. Control that impulse. Not every uncomfortable emotion requires action. Sometimes the strongest move is to sit with uncertainty long enough for reality to expose itself. Her lack of effort is information, and information saves you years when you have the courage to accept it early. Look at the pattern instead of the promise. Does she contact you mainly when she's bored, lonely, upset, needs help, or wants reassurance? Does she become affectionate when you pull your attention back, only to become distant again once she knows you are still available? Does she speak about wanting something serious while consistently treating your time as disposable? Then stop grading her on words and start grading the situation on behavior. You are not punishing her by reducing your investment. You are protecting yourself from carrying a connection she refuses to carry with you. This principle reaches far beyond dating. When you learn to invest where investment is returned, your entire life becomes cleaner. You stop begging people to recognize what you bring. You stop exhausting yourself trying to earn basic respect. You stop making somebody else's uncertainty your daily emergency. Your attention becomes deliberate instead of desperate. Your emotions stop controlling your decisions because you understand that attraction does not remove your responsibility to think clearly. And something powerful happens when you live this way. You finally discover who actually chooses you without being pushed. If she genuinely values you, space gives her the opportunity to show it through effort. She will initiate, make time, communicate, follow through, and bring something real to the table. If she does nothing, you receive an answer without having to beg for one. Either outcome works in your favor, because clarity is more valuable than false hope. So look at your own situation without protecting your ego. Are you receiving the same respect you keep giving? Are you building something together, or are you doing all the emotional work while she decides when you deserve her attention? Are you interested in who she actually is, or addicted to the possibility that one day she will finally choose you? Those questions hurt, because they expose where you have abandoned your own standards. But that pain can become direction. Pull your energy back into your own life, not as a trick to make her panic, but because your life deserves your full attention. Let her effort determine how much access she earns. Never give relationship-level investment to a woman offering convenience-level interest. You are not here to audition endlessly for a position in somebody else's life. You are building a life where the people beside you are there because respect, effort and loyalty move in both directions. And once you understand that, being somebody's backup plan stops looking romantic and starts looking like a position you simply refuse to occupy. Number 3. Remove easy access. A woman who treats you like a backup plan often expects one privilege she has not earned: unlimited access to you. She expects to disappear when something else has her attention, then return whenever she is bored, lonely, disappointed, or suddenly needs the comfort you provide. And the dangerous part is that you can mistake her return for genuine interest, because hearing from her gives you the hope you have been waiting for. She sends, "Hey, stranger," asks what you're doing, reacts to something you post, brings up an old memory, or suddenly becomes sweet after giving you almost nothing for days. And immediately your mind starts building a story around it. Maybe she finally understands. Maybe she misses me. Maybe things are changing. Slow down and look at what is actually happening. One message does not erase a pattern. Temporary attention doesn't equal commitment. Her wanting access to you does not automatically mean she values you enough to build something serious with you. This is where discipline protects your dignity. Removing easy access is not about acting cold, pretending you are busy, or using silence as some cheap trick to control her. It means your time is no longer available whenever she decides to reach for it. If she cancels plans, you continue your day instead of keeping the evening open in case she changes her mind. If she disappears, you do not sit there holding your emotional position for her while she explores whatever else interests her. If she only calls late at night when she wants company, attention, validation, or comfort, you stop treating those moments like proof that you finally matter. If she wants your presence, she needs to show through consistent behavior that she respects the man attached to that presence. This is where some men struggle because they fear that setting a boundary will push her away. But think carefully about what that fear is making you protect. If asking for basic consistency causes her to leave, what exactly are you losing? A woman who wants all the benefits of your attention while giving you uncertainty is not offering you something precious. She is offering you a position where you stay useful without becoming important. You have to become willing to lose access to people who only value you when access is convenient for them. That willingness changes how you carry yourself, because your peace no longer depends on keeping everybody happy. You focus on what belongs to you, your schedule, your body, your work, your money, your discipline, your friendships, your purpose, and the standards that decide who gets close to you. You cannot command her to respect those standards, and you do not need to. You simply decide what behavior receives access and what behavior creates distance. That is the difference between having boundaries and giving speeches about boundaries. A boundary without action is only a request. If she repeatedly treats you like an option and nothing changes on your side, she learns that your words have no weight. So change your behavior instead of giving another emotional explanation. Become less available to inconsistency and more available to your own life. Use the hours you spend analyzing her messages to improve your health. Use the energy you spend checking whether she viewed your story to build your career. Use the money you spend trying to impress a woman who cannot decide about you to strengthen your future. Turn disappointment into structure. Turn frustration into discipline. Turn the empty space she creates into room for a stronger life. And understand something deeper. Removing access is not valuable because it guarantees she comes running back. It is valuable because it reveals whether there is anything worth saving. If she becomes more consistent, takes responsibility, makes real plans, follows through, and treats your time differently, then you have behavior to evaluate. If she disappears because you no longer make yourself available on demand, you receive valuable information. Either way, you win clarity. Stop asking whether reducing access will make her miss you and start asking whether giving her unlimited access has made her respect you. Look at your own situation with clear eyes. How many times has she returned because another situation failed, and you celebrated simply because your phone finally lit up with her name? How often have you accepted 5 minutes of attention after receiving 5 days of uncertainty? How much of your confidence is tied to whether she chooses to contact you today? Those questions are uncomfortable, but they can wake something up inside you. You are not required to remain permanently available to somebody who keeps you temporarily important. Your attention has value because your life has value. And once you understand that, access to you becomes something people earn through respect, consistency, honesty and effort, not something a woman receives forever simply because you once cared about her. And once you understand that your attention has value, the next step is learning how to protect that value every day, which is exactly why we created the Stoic Relationship Blueprint e-book for men, filled with timeless principles designed to help you master your emotions, strengthen your boundaries, understand relationships with greater clarity, and stop handing your peace to people who have not earned it. It is also now available as an audiobook, so you can absorb this life-changing knowledge while taking a walk, jogging, driving, training, or simply sitting alone, rebuilding your mindset. And you can find it through the link in the comments. Once you get the book, it is yours to return to whenever life tests you, giving you lasting access to lessons you can apply again and again whenever you need direction, discipline, and the strength to choose yourself instead of accepting a backup position in someone else's life. Number 4. Judge actions, not words. Words are where a backup plan situation survives, because words allow her to keep hope alive without changing anything. She tells you she cares about you, says she's confused, says the timing is wrong, says she has a lot happening, says she does not want to lose you, says you are different from other men, and somehow every sentence sounds meaningful enough to keep you waiting while her behavior keeps placing you last. That contradiction is where you lose months, sometimes years, because you keep giving greater weight to what she says than to what she repeatedly does. Remove the story and study the pattern. If she says you matter but regularly ignores your time, the behavior speaks louder. If she says she wants to see you but repeatedly cancels without making another plan, the behavior gives you the answer. If she says she's not ready for anything serious but expects your loyalty, attention, emotional support, favors and availability, she's asking for relationship benefits without relationship responsibility. If she tells you she does not want to lose you while keeping you close enough to use and far enough to avoid commitment, stop treating those words like a promise. You do not need to call her evil, insult her, argue with her, or spend 3 hours explaining why her behavior hurts you. You need to become a man who can observe reality without begging reality to become something else. That takes emotional control, because attraction will constantly tempt you to make exceptions. You will remember the night she opened up to you, the way she looked at you, the private conversations, the promises, the chemistry, the moments that made you believe this could become something serious, and those memories will compete with what is happening right now. Your responsibility is to separate memory from evidence. A beautiful past does not excuse a disrespectful present. Chemistry does not create consistency. Attraction does not create loyalty. Potential does not create a relationship. What matters is what she repeatedly chooses when she has the freedom to choose, because repeated behavior exposes priorities without requiring an argument. This principle protects you from one of the most expensive mistakes a man can make, falling in love with explanations. Every time her actions disappoint you, another explanation arrives, and because you want the relationship to work, you become her defense lawyer inside your own head. You explain away the unanswered messages. You explain away the cancelled plans. You explain why she only becomes interested when you pull back. You explain why she wants you emotionally close while keeping her options open. At some point, you have to ask yourself whether these explanations are helping you understand reality or helping you avoid it. A disciplined man doesn't need perfect certainty before making a healthy decision. He looks at what he controls and responds to what is actually in front of him. You cannot control whether she becomes consistent tomorrow. You can control whether today's inconsistency receives another month of your life. You cannot control whether she finally sees your value. You can control whether you continue investing where your value is treated casually. You cannot control what she promises. You control what evidence you require before giving deeper access. This changes everything because you stop living from conversation to conversation and start watching patterns over time. One good weekend does not erase 6 weeks of confusion. One emotional phone call does not erase repeated disrespect. One "I miss you" does not suddenly create commitment. Let consistency prove what words claim. And be careful when she senses you pulling away, because this is often when the words become strongest. She tells you everything you wanted to hear when your attention was guaranteed, and you will want to believe that the breakthrough finally arrived. Do not punish her for speaking. Simply give time a chance to test the speech. Does her behavior stay different after a week, after a month? Does she initiate? Does she keep plans? Does she respect your time? Does she communicate instead of disappearing? Does she make your place in her life clear without forcing you to decode every interaction? Real change has a pattern. Temporary panic has a burst. Learn the difference. This is not about becoming heartless. It is about becoming harder to deceive with your own hope. You can care about a woman and still decide that her behavior does not qualify her for a serious place in your life. You can miss her and still refuse to return to the same arrangement. You can want her and still understand that wanting somebody is not a reason to abandon yourself. That is emotional maturity with teeth. Ask yourself a question tonight. If you ignored everything she has ever told you and judged this connection only by what she consistently does, what conclusion would you reach? Sit with that answer because it will expose what hope has been hiding. Your life changes when you stop negotiating with evidence. You become harder to keep on standby because promises no longer control your decisions. You become more selective about where your loyalty goes. You stop wasting months waiting for somebody to become consistent and start respecting the people who already show up consistently. And if she truly wants a meaningful place beside you, she will not need endless speeches to prove it. Her choices will make her intentions clear. Until her actions match her words, believe the pattern, protect your time, and remember that being wanted occasionally is not the same as being valued consistently. Number 5. Be ready to walk away. The final move is the one that gives every other boundary its power. You have to be genuinely ready to walk away when a woman keeps treating you like a backup plan, because if she knows you will stay no matter what she does, your standards become empty words. She can disappear, cancel plans, give another man priority, return when she wants attention, and offer you just enough affection to keep you emotionally invested, because your actions keep telling her there is no real consequence for treating you as optional. This is where you have to become brutally clear with yourself. You cannot control who she chooses, how she behaves, or whether she suddenly recognizes your value, but you completely control whether you remain available for treatment that drains your confidence and wastes your time. Walking away is not revenge, and it is not some performance designed to make her panic. It is accepting that your life is too valuable to spend waiting in somebody else's reserve position. You stop asking, "What if she changes?" and start asking, "What is this situation turning me into?" Look at your life. Are you checking your phone instead of focusing on your goals? Are you losing sleep trying to understand why she's affectionate one day and distant the next? Are you turning down opportunities with other women because you are emotionally loyal to someone who refuses to give you the same commitment? Are you giving relationship-level loyalty to a woman who keeps you around as insurance in case the option she prefers does not work out? That arrangement ends when you decide your standards matter more than your attachment. And yes, walking away will hurt when you genuinely care about her, but pain does not mean the decision is wrong. Sometimes the harder decision protects the stronger future. You accept what you cannot control your response, and move your attention toward what you can build. Train harder, work harder, repair neglected friendships, improve your finances, build skills, meet new people. Create a daily life so meaningful that one woman's inconsistent attention no longer decides whether your day is good or bad. Do not turn your growth into a performance for her either. Do not improve yourself hoping she notices. Improve because the man looking back at you deserves a life built around purpose instead of waiting. And if she returns after realizing you are no longer available on command, do not let one emotional conversation erase the pattern that forced you to leave. Listen, observe, and require consistent actions over time. She doesn't earn her old position simply because she misses the access she once had. If she wants another opportunity, she has to show through respect, effort, honesty, and consistency that something is actually different. If she refuses, let her go without hatred. Your greatest victory is not making her regret losing you. It's reaching the point where her regret is no longer required for you to know your worth. That is the transformation. You stop measuring yourself by whether a woman chooses you and start measuring your decisions by whether they respect the life you are building. A man who is willing to leave the wrong situation becomes far harder to trap in one, because he understands that being alone for a season is better than spending years beside someone who keeps reminding him that he is second choice. If she treats you like a backup plan, believe what her behavior tells you, keep your dignity, and have the courage to close the door when the pattern refuses to change. Your future does not begin when she finally chooses you. It begins when you finally choose what is good for you. At the end of the day, knowing these lessons means nothing if you keep returning to the same patterns. So if you are serious about becoming stronger, setting standards you actually enforce, and knowing exactly what to do when relationships test you, the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course for men gives you the complete step-by-step system. And with the limited time offer of more than 30% off ending very soon, this is the time to act, not another opportunity to save for later and forget. And if you want this wisdom with you wherever life takes you, you can still get the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook and audiobook, so you can read or listen while walking, driving, training, or rebuilding your life one decision at a time. Check the links in the comments before the course discount disappears, because the opportunity to get it at this price will not last forever, but the knowledge you gain and the access you keep can continue serving you for years to come.